You ready, Hadassah? Okay, hello, I'm Rebekah and I wanted to finish reading where Yahshua was during the fall feast, and what is last event or the last feast that we see in the fall is Shemini Atzeret, and so I wanted to read from the chronological Gospels exactly where he was during the last great day. Shemini Atzeret is also the last great day. So, all right, we've already looked at where he was during Yom Teruah and Yom Kippur and Sukkot, and now we turn to the very last feast, which is Shemini Atzeret, or the last great day. So let's find out where he was during that day and what he spoke on. And again, chronological Gospels is something that you need. It's a book that you need on your shelf to help you understand where Yahshua was during all the feasts throughout his 70-week ministry, as well as what he spoke on during those feasts, how he interpreted those feasts, and it will get you past the 3.5-year lie that he didn't have a 3.5-year ministry, he had a 70-week ministry. So anyway, go get that at A Rude Awakening. But event 131 says, the Sanhedrin sends officers to arrest Yahshua. Nicodemus defends Yahshua against other members of the Sanhedrin. Interesting. That's so cool. He had a friend. That's so rare, isn't it? Okay. High Sabbath, Shemini Atzeret, the last great day. The 22nd day of the 7th month, 4027 from creation, Sunday, October 12, 27 CE. Here we go. John 7:44 to 52. Breathe, Rebekah. I'm just reading. All right, John 7:44. Some of the religious leaders wanted to arrest him, but no man laid hands on him. When the officers returned to the ruling Kohanim and Purushim without arresting Yahshua, they asked the guards. Oh, by the way, Purushim is basically Pharisees, just so you know. Kohanim would be priests. So when the officers returned to the ruling Kohanim and Purushim, Kohanim meaning priests and Purushim meaning Pharisees, without arresting Yahshua, they asked the guards, "Why have you not brought him?" The officers answered, "No one has ever spoken like this man." The Purushim answered, "Are you also deceived? Have any of the members of the Sanhedrin or Purushim believed on him? These people who do not follow our oral Torah are all cursed." Wow, there you go. That's super important. Nicodemus, who is a member, and this is in brackets, a member of the Sanhedrin but a secret follower of Yahshua, said to them, "Does the Torah allow any man to be judged before he is heard and before diligent inquiry is made of him into the accusations?" They answered and they said to him, "Are you also from the Galilee? Search as you may, you will see that no prophet arises out of the Galilee." Wow, that's so cool that Nicodemus stood up for Yahshua. That's really cool. And then the guards are actually turning to want to worship Yahshua and follow him. And then the religious leaders were all over them about that. That's pretty wild. Well, there's a couple things here to look at, or what do you call those things? Notes. I've lost my brain. What do you call this? Commentary. There we go. I'm looking for that commentary here. Here's some commentary on John 7:49, which says, "These people who do not follow our oral Torah are all cursed." So let's look at what the commentary says on that. It says, "The scribes and the Pharisees derided those who refused to submit to their rules and authority with epithets such as Raka and fool, used in Matthew 5:22, commonly phrased as the cryptic Am Haaretz, or people of the land. No doubt the words "these people" were expressed with condescension and contempt. Wow. So those common people of the land, they don't know anything. Wow. All right, and then a little bit on John 7:51. Nicodemus is citing, so John 7:51 is when Nicodemus began to speak, and he said, "Does the Torah allow any man to be judged before he's heard and before diligent inquiry made into the accusation?" So here's the commentary on that. Nicodemus is citing Deuteronomy 19:15-21. His fellow Pharisees deride him. "Are you an ignoramus from the region of the Gentiles? No prophet comes out of the region of the Gentiles." Wow. So anybody in their ranks who was going to follow Yahshua, they were they were making fun of. Okay, event 132. So this is all on Shemini Atzeret, the last great day, remember. Event 132, Yahshua commissioned 70 disciples at the conclusion of the feast. It's the Shemini Atzeret, the last great day, 22nd day of the 7th month, again, 4027 from creation, Sunday, October 12th, 27 CE. All right, we look in Luke 10, 1-16 to find out what happened here. So after the failed arrest attempt, he appointed 70 others and sent them 2 by 2 before him into every city and place where he himself would go. I love that. It's super cool because he's talking about sending. If you look at the Gospel of Shalom, the Gospel of Shalom is it's a beautiful study and a beautiful study that one of my friends has done, and the Gospel of Shalom is like shalom, shalom, go ahead of you. So basically, shalom meaning sending ahead of you to destroy the authors of chaos making. Basically, those that create chaos, you're going to destroy those spirits before you get there. And that's what he was doing. He was sending these out before he went into town so that chaos would be destroyed before he got there. So he was sending shalom ahead of him, which is something that we I guess should be practicing as well. It's like sending shalom ahead of us to destroy the authors of chaos before we come in to speak or to teach, right? And that's what he was doing here. So he sends 2 by 2 before him into every city and place where he himself would go. Then he said to them, the harvest is truly great. The harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Woo! Pray that the master of the harvest would send forth laborers into the fields. Oh man, I can attest that I totally feel this. Like the more ministry that I do, the more I put out there, the more I feel like I need to put out more. Like everyone is starving. It feels like everybody coming out of Babylon, the scattered, I feel like they're starving and you cannot feed them fast enough, is how I feel being on this end of ministry. And man, the harvest truly is great, but the laborers are few. Yeah, there's so few that are willing to take up the journey of ministering and who are ready to minister, actually, because not everybody that comes out right away is ready to minister. You're not ready to minister right when you come out. You've got to spend some time getting trained and prepared. And so it's wow, like he spoke to that. Okay, I will read. Okay. Focus, Rebecca, focus. Okay. Luke 10, we're going on Luke 10:3. Yahshua says to them, to his his 70, the appointed 70, go your ways, I send you forth as lamb among wolves. Woo. Carry neither purse nor bag of provisions nor sandals, and allow no one to join you along the way. Whatever house you enter into, first say shalom to this household. If the Son of Peace is there, your peace shall rest upon it. If not, it shall return to you again. Remain in the same house, eating and drinking such things as they give, for the laborer is worthy of his hire. Do not go from house to house. Whatever city you enter into, and they receive you, eat such things as are set before you. Heal the sick that are there, and say to them, the kingdom of Yahshua has come near to you. But whatever city you enter into, and they do not receive you, go out into the streets of the same, and say, even the very dust of your city, which cleaves on us, we do wipe off against you. Nevertheless, of this you can be sure, the kingdom of Yahshua has come near to you. Then go your way. I say that it will be more tolerable in the day of judgment for Sodom than it was for that city. Woe to you, Chorazin! Woe to you, Bethsaida! If the mighty works had been done in Tyre or Sidon, which have been done in you, they would have repented a great while ago, sitting in sackcloth and ashes. But it shall be more tolerable for Tyre and Sidon at the judgment than for you. And you, Capharnaum, which is exalted to heaven, you shall be thrown down into the pit of hell. Whoa. He that hears you hears me. He that despises you despises me. He that despises me despises him that sent me. Okay, there is so much here to unpack. Wow. Go your ways, I send you forth as lamb among wolves. Okay, so lambs among wolves. Okay, who is it? Who are they going to? They're actually going to scattered Israel. And he's calling, from what I see, he's calling scattered Israel wolves. Yeah, like like a dangerous place, right? And I know that firsthand. I know how scattered Israel can be extremely mean. But then interesting, carry no purse or bag or provisions or sandals. And basically, you're supposed to, if you're teaching and you go into these places, they were supposed to like provide them with their needs, food and shelter and stuff like that until they were done in that area. And then, you say shalom to that household, and then if the son of shalom is there, then great, it can stay there. But if the son of shalom isn't there, then that shalom is going to return with you when you leave. And then if they don't receive you, then you basically, brush the dust of that city or that house, that home off when you leave. And it will be better for Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of wrath than that family, that house, that city, whatever it is. That's pretty wild. I've actually been to Kippur Nahum, and I don't know what he's talking about here because I wasn't there at that time, and you, Kippur Nahum, which is exalted to heaven, you shall be thrown down into the pit of hell. So Kippur Nahum, like, I haven't studied to figure out exactly why he's saying that, what Kippur Nahum did, but he that hears you hears me, he that despises you despises me, he that despises me despises him that sent me, as in you despise Yehovah. I said that's pretty amazing. Okay, so there's a commentary here on Luke 10:1, and this is the part where he's talking about whatever city you enter and they receive you, eat such things as are set before you. Okay, so a lot of times people think that means just anything. You can eat anything they put before you. But let's see here. Okay. Among the Israelites to whom Yahshua is sending the 70 disciples, you would never find abominable flesh set before anyone. Yahshua is speaking of eating whatever food that is set before you, not pharmakia. So, speaking of eating whatever okla food, which is set before you, not pharmakia, or inorganic substances created in a laboratory, nor animals that are classified as an abomination by the Creator. It is a sin to eat anything that is expressly forbidden by our Creator, regardless of the intention of the provider. You can see that in Revelation 2:20 or Acts 10:14. All right, so that is not saying you can eat pork if it's set in front of you, because so it's not food. All right, but here's another one more. After the failed arrest attempt, he appointed 70 others and sent them 2 by 2 before him into every city that he himself would go. Okay, here's the commentary. During the Feast of Sukkot, 70 bullock were sacrificed as a provision for the 70 Gentile nations. So the commission of 70 disciples was a shadow picture. All right, and the very last thing, 133, event 133. After the Feast of Sukkot, everyone leaves Jerusalem. The 23rd day of the 7th month, 4027 from creation, Monday, October 13, 27. So in John 7:53, you see, and in brackets, after the Feast of Sukkot concluded, every man went into his own house. So there you see, there you have it. So now we know where Yahshua was during the Feast of Shemini Atzeret, or the last great day. We know what he was doing. He actually, there was an arrest attempt on his life. Nicodemus stood up for him. And then he commissions the 70 disciples to go into different cities that he was going to end up going, right? And he gives warning to some of the cities. Very cool. There you go. That's where he was. That's what happened to him during the Feast of Shemini Atzeret. All right. I hope you have a fabulous day, and it's cold out here, so I am going to get in the car and go home. Shalom. Bye-bye.